Alright, so for my speech, I decided to pick why the 1985 NBA draft is rigged. So overall, the main reason I picked it was just because I'm a big NBA fan, and this draft in particular has always been connected to conspiracy theories. And in the picture here, we have Dave Devashier, who used to play for the Knicks and was the representative at the NBA draft lottery, with David Stern, who was the NBA commissioner at the time. And I want to start off by talking about David Stern. So David Stern was introduced as the NBA commissioner in 1984. And one of the first things he actually did as commissioner was introduce the lottery. So before the NBA lottery was a thing, they would just do the draft order based on a reverse order of wins and losses. So like the worst team would have the best pick, the second worst team the second best pick, and so on. And the new lottery system they did was the 7 teams that missed the playoffs, they would put into a rotating sphere container, so like similar to like the actual lottery, how they do it today. And they would go through and just pick them out, and the first one they would pick out would be the first overall pick for that year. And it gave every team that was in there a 14.3% chance of getting that first overall pick, so everyone had an equal chance overall. And in this picture here, I got Julius Erving from the Philadelphia 76ers and Larry Bird. So these two guys were two of the biggest names during the 70s and 80s, and they're two of the greatest players also of all time. But they also played during a time where fighting, and also known as the cocaine era, was a big thing. So today, if a player like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade got into a fight, they would be suspended multiple games, be fined tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. But these guys in this fight here, they ended up with no at all repercussions. So that just shows how during the time it caused NBA ratings to drop, and also it turned off a lot of NBA fans overall. And to really emphasize that cocaine was a major problem, the LA Times reported that 40 to 75% of NBA players were using cocaine during this time. And a player drafted in 1986 was Len Bias, who was drafted first overall by the Boston Celtics, and actually died on draft night because of a cocaine overdose. As well as a player that had his career ruined was David Thompson, who started off as a 4-time All-Star and had his career derailed because of cocaine. And now talk more about the actual player involved with the draft. So right here we have Patrick Ewing with his Georgetown coach, Thompson. And just overall, it shows how he's a big guy, 7 foot, 240 pounds. And for his strength, it says, "Are you kidding me?" So I mean, that basically overall shows how good this guy was. He could score, he could defend, score in the post. And this was also during a time where the NBA was really emphasized on big men. So he was the ideal player. And actually coming out of school, the Sports Illustrated said he was the most recognized athlete to enter a professional league at the time. So that was a big name, and overall, the ideal situation would be that he would end up in New York, playing for the New York Knicks, as the big market team. And here I have just an article showing there's David Stern there, and this is the lottery mechanism they used for the draft. And they had 7 envelopes placed into there, and you would pick them out, and then obviously it would end up leading to the draft order. And actually I have a video to show of that draft day. And this was the first televised NBA lottery. And it'll show just when they're placing in the envelopes, there's one envelope they place in different than others, which ends up being the New York Knicks pick, which leaves the card dented.
Make it bigger, so yeah.
The drum will now be turned to further mix the envelopes, and then I will conduct the drawing.
That is Jack Joyce. He's the head of security for the NBA. Spinning the drum. About 6 turns, I think.
And it's a little hard to say, see the envelope on the bottom, how it's nipped a little bit, and how it's got envelopes on top of it. And make sure you really emphasize grabbing that.
The team whose logo is in this envelope will have the first pick in the NBA draft.
Dave the Butcher.
The second pick in the 1985 NBA draft goes to the Indiana.
The horseshoe works. Basketball is back in New York City, my friend.
So the video doesn't show, but also the Dave Derbyshire, who's the representative, had the Patrick Ewing jersey with him already. Like, so they already knew who they were picking when they got the first overall pick for that year. And Patrick Ewing, and he ended up leading the Knicks, or right after the NBA lottery, the Knicks received over 1,000 calls from people requesting to get season tickets. So they saw like instant results from just knowing who they're going to pick for that year. And he would go on, and in the picture here you see Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and then obviously Patrick Ewing dunking go on him. But it just showed how big of an impact he was going to have on the league as soon as he came into it. And he, coming into the league, led the Knicks to 13 straight playoffs appearances and 11 All-Stars, and became a future Hall of Famer. And that's everything for my speech.